everybody, this is Marie and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. Today we're going to be talking about that damn balloon. Yes, we are. For those interested, today I'm going to be using the Autumn Mist Tarot deck. Uh, Pretty cool little deck. Enjoy it. It also has a partner called the Blossom Mist. The autumn next. I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna use it next time around. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Please feel free to share, like, subscribe. I appreciate you. I do want to drive traffic. So let's to this channel. So let's get started without any further ado. So we're gonna be talking about that balloon that's been hovering around the States. A few days ago, I've heard that they shut it down. It was destroyed. 7 days after it was roaming the United States. Now, the media have also mentioned that the balloon, the spy balloon from China, has been seen in Latin America. There have been sightings. There have been mention of sightings in Japan, and I think India have mentioned of seeing similar balloon hovering around. Now, today, looking at the news, it was mentioned that there was a self-destruct feature attached to the balloon in case of capture. So the question is, at this point, what was the purpose of this balloon? Because this story is not going away, and a lot of people have seen it all over the world. It's not only a United States thing. Like I mentioned, Japan have seen it, had it. India, Latin America, and to my understanding, like a month prior of those sightings, there were balloons hovering around Hawaii. The Biden administration never mentioned, and I think the reason why this story came out to the public is because people in Colorado saw it, and it looks like the government, the Biden administration, have been aware, but they were trying to keep the story hush hush. But the local newspaper or the people living in the area have put it out there. So, social media, everybody chat, everybody talk, and that's how it became viral. So the Biden administration have no choice but to contain damage, to my understanding. Now, if people from these other countries that I mentioned have seen the balloon or known or have any media mention of it, please feel free to comment, because I haven't had a chance to fact check, confirm of these sightings in those other countries. So I would appreciate your comment on that. Thank you in advance for your participation and for sharing, because I am interested. As you know, the news sometimes is not always accurate, so any information from the ground will be greatly appreciated. So first question that I wanted to ask is, what's the purpose of that balloon, those balloon sighting that we've been seeing all over the world? Because clearly it's not only a US thing. Other countries, other continents have seen that Chinese balloon all over to its glory. So that leads me to believe that this is not a research balloon. It's clearly for something else. So let's see what's the purpose of that balloon being sighted. What was the intention behind it, right? So let's see what the cards wants to say. I kind of have an idea, but it's always good to see what the cards wants to say here. using the Kachina spread. A lot of tarot reader on YouTube uses it. The first card is the Ten of Swords. Second card is Temperance. Represent the situation. Third card is Ace of Sword, recent past. Right. Present, Three of Wands. Potential outcome or future is the High Priestess. Two of Swords is clarification. Knight of Cups, clarification. Okay, guys. So the first card is the Ten of Swords. Now, all swords are truth, or thoughts, words, information. It could be doubts. It could be spiritual awakening as well. Now, at this point, for this particular, so we asked the question, what's the purpose? What was the purpose of the balloon? So the purpose of the balloon was really a message to the world that a chapter is closing and then a new one is about to begin. Because all 10 deals with ending. You see this person stabbed in the back. It could be, there's different way of looking at it. It could be a feeling of betrayal or feeling of being stabbed in the back. Now, what came to mind when I'm seeing this, as soon as I saw this, it tells me that this was like a message to the whole world that, you know, the United States is no longer the big honcho, the only superpower in town. And this represents that, you know, this is an end for America. And I think we heard that. If you listen to the commentaries, even from fake news, that it was not a good look, that, you know, how can a balloon was able to cross the border that unnoticed for several days, like a whole week have passed before any action took place. You know, unheard of, unbelievable. It's a whole new level of incompetency. And for now, I don't know what was the resolution for the balloon that was spotted in Japan, India, and Latin America. But I know the majority of the time, the United States is considered the superpower, the police. You know, every time there's a problem, you know, the U.S. is the country that provides support, either military assistance, to a lot of the countries here in America. Now, I don't know if it's the case for those countries. I would appreciate your comment in the link below, you know, your comment, you know, to get any further explanation. But again, this message was to let everybody know that, you know, the U.S. is no longer the head honcho. It's no longer the superpower or the go-to guy or gal or person, and it represented an ending of an era, a chapter of sort. Because the second card that shows up is the Temperance. So Temperance is a major arcana. Every time you see a major arcana, it's as if the universe is trying to emphasize, overemphasize something, to let us know with the Temperance. So Temperance is about balance. It's about, you know, not rocking the boat too much. It's basically trying to keep things where let's say, uh, if everybody has a gun, nobody can shoot at each other because everybody's armed. So it creates balance in that way. So that's the Temperance card for me. Balance, where everybody, there's no one superior, there's no more inferior. Everybody's a somewhat equal level. It's not perfect, but it creates balance. Balance. The Temperance card tells me that, it was a message with that Ten of Swords to let us know that, look, there's a new superpower in town, and that, the United States is no longer gonna be the only police force that regulates the world, and that, so China was trying to, you know, use this very subtle, well, not so subtle, but as a way to let everybody know that they're here. And not only China, I think we can also include Russia as well, because I have not heard of a balloon being sighted in Russia. So I think that says a lot. And that, there's going to be some kind of balance going on in the world. Not one person or one nation is going to hold power or dominion over others. So there's going to be some kind of a balance happening here. So that's okay. That's interesting. Now, recent past is the Ace of Sword. So Ace of Sword, I think a lot of people, when they saw it, when they heard about the news, it created a big spiritual awakening. I think a lot of people have become more aware, more awake, because sword is about thoughts, word, information. And all Ace is new beginning. It's coming out in a big way. So, so a lot of people are starting to, if you were not in politics, after you've heard that news, you're really going to want to hear or do some research or do some exploring or trying to find out what's going on. Because a lot of that balloon's been roaming for 7 days. It really picked up on the news. Everybody's been talking about it. And the fact that it's been sighted all around the world. Again, big awareness to this. Big focus is one happening. A lot of people are now doing research about what China's been doing, happening, what's been happening in China. A lot of people have been doing research about, the administration and their dealings with China. So a lot of people are becoming more aware, more awake on the informational front, on the spiritual front, mental. Everybody's getting sharper because, again, sword, facts, information, thoughts, words, and also swords is it's a bit harsh. Once you have to face those facts. It's once you do, you're gonna want a new beginning with that Ace of Sword. Once you know the truth, there's no way of going back. And because it cuts right in the heart of the matter, and that's what a lot of people have come to the realization of. Now, present is the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, all wands deals with fire, and fire is inspiration. Fire is what motivates you, what gets you out of bed, what propels you forward, what drives you to succeed, what drives you, what gets you out of bed. So that's the wand, that's the fire. And three of wands, or usually you see this person out, he's outside, he or she's outside and looking at the horizon. He's in the process of, he's already started his journey. He's turning his back from us. We're seeing his back. And that tells us that he's ready to move on. He's ready to explore different options, because all three in numerology is about adventure. It's about striking up. If 2 is duality, 3 is about striking out and going on an adventure. And why would a person go on an adventure? Either because they're desperately trying to leave something behind, or there's something lacking that they're trying to seek. Right now, it's a little bit of both. The world is not happy with how things are going, and they want to explore other options. So, so that's interesting that this is the card that's coming out. Uh, with that Ace of Swords, as people are getting more aware of what's been happening, doing research about, the government here in America, hear about, other places, as people becoming more awake and not being happy with the situation as it is, they're gonna wanna move forward, move in a different direction. And the fact that you see the Three of Wands, this gentleman, he's already wearing his traveling gear. He's ready to go. He's already outside. He's not inside the house thinking, contemplating. He's outside, already in motion. So this is telling us that right now, not only we're becoming more awake, but we are in motion, in wanting change, in propelling change. And I think we've seen it all over the world. There's protests everywhere. Everybody's voicing. Everybody's wanting change. You're seeing people more than ever being involved in government, involved in their community. Again, to propel change, to move in a different direction. So they're getting very passionate about making those steps or starting this process, right? And the outcome from all of this that the universe wanted to share is the High Priestess. Again, the High Priestess is a major arcana. Again, it's a message that the universe really wants you to pay attention to. The High Priestess is a card of introspection, of really going within. It's also a card of patience. It's also a card of secret. All of the above. But for this particular situation, it feels as if, a lot of people are going to take this time. It's going to be, it's really going to mess you up, in the sense that it's going to, for a lot of people, we're like, America, yeah. This really going to hit home. And it's going to have a lot of people thinking. And even if you are not, a big America, fan, land of the brave or the free, if you are like more on the woke, leftist, extreme leftist side, where, America was never great type of thing, mentality, you're also going to be thinking, going inward to really think about this whole thing, because I don't think anybody would have liked a balloon coming out of nowhere, coming inside your home, inside of your properties, as if a drone would come into your property. You don't know where it came from, who it is, what it's about, and trying to snoop on your premise. So I think whether on a deeper level, it hit people. It hits home somehow, and it's gonna force a lot of people to really look inward, to really meditate, and to really mull this thing over, to really chew on this topic, because and as if the universe wants you to pay attention and to really digest this shift that's happening. And for clarification, with that Two of Swords, a lot of people may not want to, whether you want to deal with it or not, the facts remain the same. Whether you choose not to see it or not, that, America is no longer the centerpiece, and that there are other superpowers out there. And China is one of them. Russia is another one, and they're letting themselves known. And a lot of people may not still holding on to the past, still not wanting to, look at the truth, look at the facts, because again, swords, facts, information, truth. You cannot change that. A lot of people may not want to see this shift. Some might call it decline in the way things actually are right now. And other clarification, and a lot of people, so this is the Knight of Cups. All nights all about movement. So travel, movement, shift, a process of sort. So because of the balloon that's been hovering and flying over, so a lot of people are gonna be not happy with the government, with how things were handled, and a lot of people are gonna be disappointed emotionally, especially the people who are really for that team, because the Knight is again movement, but the Knight of Cups is basically what drives this person is their emotion. As you know, the woke left tend to be a very emotional bunch. They're not exactly facts and analytic type of people. I mean, it's like the Romulan and the Vulcan in Star Trek. Same group of people, same DNA, but their philosophy is completely different. Comment below if you get that reference. They're highly emotional. So these people, especially the emotional ones, mostly the woke leftist liberals, whatever, they're going to be very disappointed and they're going to want to move away from this. So again, recap, what was the purpose of this balloon thing? It was from China to let everybody know, the whole world, the planet, to know that, hey, new sheriff, this is the end of the era. We're throwing our hat into the fray. We have the power, and we can play ball, and you have to share. And so as a result, because of that, a lot of people have become awake with that Ace of Swords. A lot of people have become, even if you're not in politics, that really stuck out. And again, sword, knife is very harsh to the psyche. It forces you to, whether you want to or not, to accept that fact, accept that truth. And because of that, once you know a truth, once you know information, you want to propel change. And that's what's happening right now. Maybe not as vocal or as, probably there's no protests here in America, but people are talking. If you look on social media, people are not happy. So a lot of people is going to want to propel change. They probably don't want Biden. I mean, we can see that. And it's forcing a lot of people to re-look inward, to really reevaluate. It's as if this card, this message is for the people who have not been awake. And if you were on the fence, I think this is really going to tip you over the edge. And on intellectual level and also emotionally, people are going to want to move away, not happy. Especially if you like being on top and now you realize you're no longer the top dog. It's not pleasing for a lot of people's ego. So here it is. Wow, that was interesting. Thank you guys for sticking with me to the end of this video. Please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.